Everyone, John Henry here from School of Trade. Today we're going to be taking a look at a buy off the lows here on the S&P. 51.25 is an area of support that we've been tracking for a very long time, and I'm looking for price to finally come down and get it. And there we go. We finally got the test that we were looking for, and so this really just kind of allows us to hop into the trade, looking for basically just being a little bit early. Now, in terms of stop, I don't want this to go much more than 2 points against me. So my stop is going to go down here, and it's going to be all 5 contracts there. So now that we've got our 5 contracts set in terms of the stop, the overall target, this is going to be very open-ended. There's a lot of different targets that we can utilize. The first target, there's blatant obvious resistance here at 61, so we absolutely must take some off here. We're going to take 3 off there, but then the next primary objective is going to be back up to the highs here. Now, depending on how strong this is, this ends up as a strong engulfing candle to the upside. I'll add 2 more. That's a really, really good rejection that we want to see at that low. All right, so we're going in 7 contracts instead. So with that slight adjustment with the 2 extra contracts, I'm going to take 4 off here at the highs at 61 and then looking for the final objective up here at 64.5. Now, 64.5 is the prior low of day, and you'll notice one big thing. The last time we came to that area, they broke through it pretty aggressively. Big bear bar down. So that area is likely to attempt to have some defense. So we need to take some profit off there as well. So I'm looking to take some off there. We'll go to 64.25, just ahead of that level. And then the final target for this one, really just looking back up to the last area that we saw some bouncing. The last area that we saw some bouncing, what do I mean by that? Well, the last time before this major drop that we had a correction, and that was right inside here. So with that correction, the high of that correction was here at 72.5. We don't necessarily want to go straight to 72.5. Sometimes it's asking for trouble, so we'll go a little bit farther down, say 71.75, and we'll place the final one there, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, so we've got 7 targets all the way up, and now we're looking for a potential beautiful rejection back up to the upside off of this major support area at 51.25. Took a couple different entries on it. An initial limit entry, just waiting for price to eventually finally come down to that major support, and then also an engulfing candle entry with a huge rejection back up, adding even more significance to the upside. So our first target from our entry here, our first entry is going to have 5 of those contracts, so we're going to track those first. We're going to take 9.75 points off on that move up on 4 of the 5, and then 1 more of those is going to come off at 13. Now, the next set of contracts is going to have 2 more, so that's going to be 1 off at here for 10.25, and then 1 more off a little bit farther up here at the final objective, and that's going to be 17.75 points. So potential for an absolutely gargantuan run if we can start getting it. We're seeing a major support coming off of this level. Obviously, that's why we're trading it, but we're seeing them react very aggressively. Huge bullish pressure coming off of this area here, and that's exactly what you want to see when that's the type of trade that you're looking for. So that's the way that we're going to play it. Everything looking nice and strong. We're looking for further continuation up. First target at 61. Stop will start moving to break even definitely after this candle closes. Once this candle closes, maybe not necessarily break even, but the stop for sure will be going underneath that low. For right now, we need to see this continue up. If we can close as a nice strong bull bar, then we know that the buyers are very interested in this after a huge rejection of the lows, traps the sellers in, whips them all out, and shoots back up, and then we'll lock our stop in underneath that low. So very minimal risk, especially compared to the upside reward. Now we just have to give the market some time to work it out and go higher. I mean, look at this rejection. So we'll give it a little bit of time here. 61 is the next objective. All right, getting a nice push up, only a couple ticks away from the target. Because we're so close to the target, I don't want to give any of this back. So my stop's going to go to break even +1. Normally I wait for my target to get filled, but because we've gone so far in this direction, I'm really not that interested in giving a bunch of profit back. So I've got 3 contracts left. You'll notice our break even kind of moved up a little bit. That's because this is our average position. So because of that, now that we know that area has been grinding higher, I want to make sure that my average position currently currently is at least at break even, which puts me at 53 and a quarter. That doji high that we had on the low, that was the trap, and it had a high of 53.75. So we're still sort of above that area. So even if they do come back, we're likely to see some defense above that because that's where all the buyers came in. Late buyers definitely buying right here at 58, but now we're just looking for final continuation up. Got the first target filled, beautiful move up, absolutely gorgeous move. Now we're just looking for a little bit more. That prior low of day, especially that strong break that we had before, really looking for that to become magnetized and suck price inside it. And that area, that might be the end of the trade. We might not go any farther, especially if this is going to be a breakdown and they respect and hold this area. If they hold this area as resistance, guess where we are right now? They might just drop this right back down to the lows. So depending on what happens up here at the prior low of day, we may need to adjust how we kind of operate our stop here. But all depends on what they want to do here. For right now, though, 64 and a quarter is the next target. All right, we tested our target, never got it filled on this last attempt up here. Now we're coming back up again. They tried reversing down a little bit early, but a lot of times the market wants to get a physical test, and we haven't had that yet. So we're still looking for 64 half. We're front running it at 64 and a quarter. If you're front running it more than a tick or so, you definitely got your fill because they've only come one tick away, but didn't get filled to the tick here at 64 and a quarter. We're just looking for a little more follow through back up, and then the final objective is back up to 71 and three quarter. I did lock my stop in nice and tight here. We had another very, very strong bull move back up again. I don't want to see the low of this bull move taken out. So my stop is going to go up to 58 and a quarter. And again, that's sort of what we're looking at. Tested the target again, no fill. That's what we're talking about when we're looking at getting continued movement up and how to sort of treat our stop. And this is giving us a big clue that the buyers are still in, but if they're going to maintain their strength in here, we need to make sure that they stay above that area at 58 quarter. We finally got the fill. One contract left on the table, only one, looking up to 71 and three quarter. So let me hide all these here. There we go. And we'll see if we can get that final push up to 71 and three quarter. All right, so we're seeing massive buying volume coming back again. So along with this buying volume, I don't want to give this much back. So my stop is going to come in nice and tight, 61 and three quarter. And based on the size of this bar already, I mean, we're only 3 minutes into the candle. I don't really want to give back anything underneath the prior low of day anymore. So 64 and a quarter is going to be where the stop is. We're coming so close to the target now that it's not worth risking that much. One tick away. Need a little bit more buyers, need a little bit more, and we can get that final fill. There we go, we get the fill. Beautiful, beautiful move up. It's exactly what we were looking for. Cancel the stop here, and a gorgeous run higher. Massive profits on this one. We took some off at 9.75, 13.25, 10.25, 17.75, almost a 20-point runner on that last portion. It's a $4,000 trade with only 7 contracts on the trade up. So gargantuan run higher off of that major support we've been talking about for a while now, 51 and a quarter. They finally gave it to us. So this is what we've been waiting for. So beautiful move up. We locked in more than enough profit on this one. So we'll let it go. And that's going to be the trade for today. If you have any questions about it, feel free to shoot an email to School of Trade. Don't forget to check out our trial at schooloftrade.com. And as always, we'll catch you next time.